evening and welcome to City Wrap Ramadan. I'm Ilham Al-Hamadi. Today we're going to be featuring a new prayer mat, an inspiring campaign, more delicious Ramadan meals, and of course a bundle of prizes. And speaking of those prizes, here's a quick preview of what may very well be coming your way. A bourgeois bag worth 1,000 dirhams, a ×5 praying mat, which we'll be hearing about more a little later on the show, meal vouchers from Wafi restaurants, iftar vouchers from the Address hotels, and 10 hours from a Link personal assistant. Make sure you stay tuned to find out how you can win these great gifts a little later on the show. The holy month of Ramadan celebrates the spirit of giving and sharing. And getting right into the spirit were students from Dubai's Greenfield Community School. Enthusiastic volunteers from the school braved the summer sun as they participated in the EROS Pass It On campaign, which distributes old, unused electronics among underprivileged people in Dubai. Priyanka Dutt went along with the students to see how what we may think of as old, unused gadgets can be used to bring so much cheer to someone's life.
It's 45 degrees outside and school is out for the summer. But that's not deterred these students of the Greenfields Community School. For the past month, they have been collecting old electronics from their homes. Discarded items like old phones, toasters, DVD players that are no longer being used by their families to be distributed to those who cannot afford them.
Pass It On is basically a social initiative where we encourage people to donate their old electronic items. Given the technological innovations that happen so fast right now, a product has a longer shelf life, but not being used can always be donated to a worthy cause, to the underprivileged and the less fortunate, who can then continue to use that product and keep it away from the landfills and environmental damage that it can cause. Schools is where we believe children are, and that's where the future is. It's the environment that we're going to pass on to them. So there's no better way than they initiating the entire process. They are good facilitators to encourage their parents to make change.
But the role of these little Samaritans does not end with just collecting or donating. Their next step is to personally pack all these gadgets and take them to this warehouse in Dubai Investments Park to distribute them to people who would not be able to afford them otherwise. For the last 3 years, the organizers of the Pass It On campaign have been distributing old electronics to laborers at various camps across Dubai. However, this time around, things were a little different. The month of Ramadan is all about giving, and today's initiative takes that thought a step further. Today was all about helping those people who selflessly help the neediest in Dubai.
The reason why we chose this specific company is because they have, I think, around 50 staff, and they cook meals for laborers. So it's not just giving to a laborer, you're giving to someone who's also contributing all day and night. So this company provides catering services for labor camps. The intent was that these guys have been working so hard to provide iftars for laborers in mosques, specifically free food for laborers. So we said, why not give them this treat of giving them these goods items.
बच्चे से आप लोगों से मिलकर बहुत खुश हुआ, मुझे अच्छा लगा, और ख़ास करके इतने छोटे छोटे बच्चों के हाथ से मैं सरप्राइज गिफ्ट ले रहा हूँ, तो बहुत अच्छा फील हो रहा है मेरे को, और मैं चाहूँगा कि अच्छी प्रोग्रेस हो उनकी।
ये भी टेलीफोन है इसके अंदर, अभी मुल्क में बात करेंगे, इधर भी बात करा सकते हैं, बहुत अच्छा।
Through Ramadan, these men will spend each day cooking iftar for thousands of laborers at mosques across Dubai. And so, as they gear up for one of the busiest times in the year, we leave them with their treats, leaving them to celebrate the one day when they're in the spotlight.
Thank you, Priyanka, for that report. Of course, there are many other community stories to share this Ramadan, and we want to hear them from you. So get onto our Facebook page and share your Ramadan moments for a chance to win prizes throughout the holy month. One story each week wins a prize. Now, if you're wondering what attractions are not to be missed this month, we've done a little research. Here's our Ramadan calendar. Check it out. time for a break, but we'll be back before you know it with an in-depth look at a new prayer mat, plus a whole lot of prizes and another scrumptious Ramadan meal right here in studio. Stay with us. Welcome back to City Wrap Ramadan. Our next guests intrigued us when we discovered they designed a new kind of praying rug, promising to have various benefits. The Times5 prayer mat recently hit the market, and here to tell us all about it is the CEO and founder Nader Sabri and Vice President Mohammed Al-Bastaki. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So tell us about Times5. What is this about?
Well, Times5 is the world's first health and wellness lifestyle company geared towards Muslim lifestyle.
Okay.
And at the center of Times5 is Times5 Labs, which is an R&D arm of Times5, which basically develops innovative products around the Muslim lifestyle.
Okay. And today we're talking about the prayer mat.
That's correct.
Tell us more about that.
Sure. The prayer mat actually was designed through 4 to 5 years of research and development.
Okay.
It was led by an ex-NASA scientist who would work with us in specialized high-performance materials. And the research had initiated initially with ergonomic design, understanding the ergonomic environment in which we deal with day to day, everything from our chairs to the tables that we use to our desks. And what we found was that about 92% of all products around us that we interact with daily are not ergonomically designed properly for our health.
Okay.
So that's where we actually started from, and we started to take a look at it very specifically from a Muslim lifestyle perspective, and that's how we actually created the Times5 prayer mat.
I mean, to add to that, his human story of it is, he was walking, he saw a Muslim elderly praying, and he was suffering because he had knee problems. And because the surface is hard, he made a decision to go into that business. And the rest of the story, I think everybody knows.
Okay, and I believe you have your own personal story as well, right, Mohammed?
I do have a personal story. I mean, it all started, I got the mat, and I use it at home. But my mother, in about 2004, she's always been praying normal, but she had a fracture, and she had a pin and plate in her thigh. And since then, she's been praying on a chair. But in Islamic philosophy, the spiritual side is linked to the psychology and linked to the physical bit of the human being. So she was being impacted negatively on the spiritual side because she could not prostrate on the floor with her head down. So through the years, that impacted on her psychology, and she wasn't very happy about it. Then her body got affected by it. You know, you physically get affected. So when she started, and she can't sit on the floor, but the floor is hard. But if she sits on the bed, it's too wobbly. So when she tried this, she was so happy from the first minute she started even doing tasabih after prayer. So it gives people time to even normal people even to do more sort of spiritual work on the floor, on the mat. So it's amazing.
It is truly. Nader, do you have your own story? What really inspired you to create this product?
Well, the starting point is when I started to see a lot of people in pain, and there was no solution for them. But the level of perseverance they had to keep going and going and going was quite incredible. And I said, why isn't it there the type of solutions out there to help these people? One of the first things we found out that 89% of those who have a physical ailment that are not supposed to touch the ground refuse to do so. They want to touch the ground and prostrate. And that level of hope and inspiration means so much to somebody who has physical issues. You don't necessarily have to have a specific physical ailment, but you can also looking for specific type of comforts and focus while you pray as well.
True.
Yeah.
Now, we're used to praying on our regular traditional prayer mats, and like you mentioned, they're not ergonomically designed for our bodies. What else do you think is the problem with them?
Well, there's another aspect, which is the microfiber we use on top has an antimicrobial coating inside the fabric, which doesn't allow for fungus and bacteria to grow, but also doesn't allow for dust mites to grow inside the fabric and come out. So it also helps with the respiratory system and also the actual touch. So whether you're sweating because of you've just washed up or from moisture or humidity, it doesn't allow for fungus or bacteria to grow on you or the mat. It's hygienic on top.
That's good to know.
And the anti-slip underneath will stop people from having sudden accidents. Either you're young or old, it can happen to you.
True. So, guys, we're almost out of time, but just quickly tell us what you guys are up to this Ramadan.
Sure. Well, this Ramadan, we're releasing something called Muslim Physiology. There are 5 videos that are designed to help people to learn them, teach them, and share them with other people. This helps them basically look at the basic common issues with the knee, the back, and exercises you can do at home within 2 minutes in order to help yourself or others around you.
Very
be able to pray
interesting.
better. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us, guys. It was a
Thank
pleasure to
you.
have
Thank you
you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the moment many of you have been waiting for, a chance to win tonight's fantastic prizes. In case you missed out on them earlier, here's what's up for grabs tonight. A bourgeois bag worth 1,000 dirhams, a ×5 praying mat, which we just heard about, meal vouchers from Wafi restaurants, iftar vouchers from the Address hotels, and 10 hours from a Link personal assistant. For your chance to win tonight's prizes, all you have to do is log on to our Facebook page and answer the following question. When do Muslims fast during Ramadan? A, from sunrise to sunset, B, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., or C, from Dhuhr to Maghrib. We'll be announcing the winner of tonight's prizes on our Facebook page, so make sure you keep checking in with us. Well, it's time now for another quick break, but we'll be back shortly with our daily Ramadan recipes. So get ready to take some notes as we all learn how to cook a delectable Indian dish, shorba-e-tangdi. Stay with us. Welcome back to City Wrap Ramadan, and of course to this year's new segment, Ramadan Recipes, during which we learn how to cook a range of international dishes right here in studio. Tonight, Samir Miglani from Movenpick Dubai is showing us how to make shorba-e-tangdi. Did I get that right?
Absolutely. Surprisingly. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's as the name suggests, shorba, which is like a soup, a broth,
Okay.
and then tangdi is the drumsticks. So it's a good combination of a chicken drumsticks with a broth.
Lovely. Why did you choose to cook this dish in particular for Ramadan?
I think Ilham, obviously during Ramadan when the fast is broken, we want to be done in a healthy way.
Okay.
Instead of having fried, you can
Absolutely.
have like a drumsticks and broth and a salad on the side, which is, you know, something that eases the system a little bit better than what other foods would.
Okay, so let's get started. What's the first thing you're going to do, Chef?
Thank you. So we've got, as a part of the healthy, of course, there's a choice when you do Indian food, it's always got ghee or clarified butter. You can substitute it, but the flavor doesn't remain the same.
That's true.
Right? So, so we've got clarified butter here, and we've got some basic spices with which we're going to be starting. This is the cardamom, the cinnamon, and the bay leaf.
Okay.
So it's a very simple dish which can be done at home with not too much complication. That was the whole idea of doing it.
Okay.
So we've kind of heated up the ghee, and
Okay.
at this stage we've added the green cardamom. We'll be adding the cinnamon sticks, which is the bark of a tree.
Okay.
Also, yeah,
okay.
just a little bit. Too much of cinnamon actually tends to make it very bitter.
Okay.
So
It's quite strong.
yeah, it's very strong. A bit of bay leaf. Bay leaf is available both fresh and dry.
Okay.
Fresh bay leaves obviously give a much better flavor to the
Okay,
dish.
and you
but-
choose to use the dry ones.
and
to
we choose to use the dry ones because we simmer it much longer.
Okay, so that
and
brings out the flavor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we've got this. We've got the spices going. The ghee now has a nice aroma of the spices. This is a good time to add the onions, which are just normal, regular red onions, which have been chopped.
Okay. How long
And-
will
and
they
they go that-
stay in for?
The onions get sautéed till they kind of become light brown, which is about at least 4 to 5 minutes. So let's assume that we've got the onions sautéed off at this stage. They are chopped onions, evenly chopped. The importance of evenly chopping is that when they get cooked, they get evenly cooked. Otherwise, some
Okay.
part of it doesn't and the other part more. So
Interesting.
yeah, so hence the onions are getting here. After the onions, we've got a homemade ginger and garlic paste, which
Okay.
is about 60% ginger and 40% garlic.
Why
I
60,
prefer to
40?
use because garlic as a herb has got too much of strong aroma.
Okay.
So it's always better to have a bit more of the ginger than of the garlic.
All right. So, that
So-
sort of balances it.
Absolutely. And then goes in a spoon of that ginger garlic paste right here. Some people obviously tend to strain it so that they don't have the fibers in the ginger. So you can also do that through a muslin cloth. You can strain your ginger garlic paste.
Okay.
So here you can get the nice aroma of the spices, the onion, the ginger, the garlic already cooking.
I have to ask you something.
Yes.
You said it's a healthy dish, and then we used ghee.
Correct. So that's why I have some olive oil here.
Okay.
So always as a substitute right next to where you stand. So if there's a choice, you know, it can go right in there. So and since it has got all the spices and the onion and ginger garlic, it still tastes nice, you know, with a good olive oil. So here it goes.
So when is the chicken gonna go in?
So now I think cooking is about patience. So I think we go on with the
not on the show. It's only 8 minutes. You know that.
All right. All right. So now goes the ginger garlic paste, and just in order, a bit of the chili. The Indians, you know, we're a spicy lot, and we love our spice. The garam masala. Which is a good blend of Indian spices, the cinnamon, the cloves, the peppercorns, the large cardamom and the green cardamom. Turmeric, a great antiseptic, turmeric, and goes very well with the spices.
We've got 4 minutes, chef.
Yep. So here goes the spices in, saute off the spices well, and at this stage comes the marinated chicken drumsticks.
Okay.
They've just been marinated with the same garam masala that I've shown you here and a bit of oil. So the chicken drumsticks go in here. The important part is that you have to sear the meat well when you put in the onion, so that when you cook it, the inside still remains moist. Otherwise, it tends to get very dry, and very quickly the juices come out.
So what's one thing that you need to keep in mind when you're searing the?
You make sure that the heat is high.
Okay.
So that at that stage the searing happens very quickly.
Okay.
And then it retains the flavor pretty much inside.
Okay. And
So
how long is that going to take?
This takes about 6 to 7 minutes of a nice bhunoing. This is called bhunoing. And the more you bhuno the meat with the masala, the more the flavor you get. That's a little tip which works well with all meats, lamb and chicken both.
Okay. Okay.
So that goes in there, and then we've got the chicken stock, which is we're going to add in a little bit of the chicken stock, which helps cook the flavor, and a bit of the yogurt. These also can be blended together or added because they're going to be cooked anyway together.
The yogurt's going to help make the spices a little mild.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And the yogurt makes a good emulsion along with the ghee or the olive oil, and that gives the gravy a bit of a base.
Okay.
So so here comes so as it cooks at this stage is kind of, you can keep it and it's cooking. At that time you can add just freshly chopped tomatoes. So it has, like I said, very simple ingredients. Not to forget in the rush, a bit of the salt.
Of course, to taste.
To taste.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, and the fresh herbs is what we always like to use at the hotel, which gives a lot of freshness, which is just fresh cilantro or coriander.
Coriander.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can then leave this for cooking, and at least give it another 10 to 12 minutes till the chicken drumsticks kind of cook very well, but not overcook, otherwise the meat tends to fall off the bone.
Okay.
So that's it, and obviously we've got the dish,
product?
the final product right here,
Okay.
which is again, please.
Sorry. I see these, they look like seeds, some sort of seeds.
That's right.
Is that for the garnish?
Yeah, you're ahead of me, Ilham, and I
sorry.
will just get that back to the dish. So this is the broth with the.
So if cooking is about patience, it's really not for me.
Yes. So that's how the final dish actually looks, with the drumsticks well cooked.
It smells amazing.
And the broth right there, and coming here we've got a salad, which could be anything, but we chose a bit of baby spinach, a bit of rocket, and we had a dressing along with it, which is like a honey mustard and some pumpkin seeds. Like I said, we want to make it healthy. So when you bite into a salad, you need some kind of a texture crunch, which the pumpkin seeds help a little bit of that.
We're going to come back to that. Thank you so much for cooking this awesome meal for us. We've come to the end of our show tonight, but of course, we will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, discussing food wastage this Ramadan, plus traditional Middle Eastern Ramadan fare and a whole new set of giveaways. See you then. Good night.